welcome back to my channel. My name is Brooklyn and today's video is going to be a book haul of sorts because it was recently Stuff Your Kindle Day for romance books, but also fantasy books. There were two that were very exciting, very like last minute kind of situation, and I definitely stuffed my Kindle. I think I got over like 30 books, so we're in for the long haul here today, guys. Grab a drink, grab some popcorn or your favorite snack and sit down and just enjoy the recommendations here, even though I haven't read them. These are the books that I got on Stuff Your Kindle Day and I think that you should get to because they sound amazing. None of these, by the way, are by authors that I've read before, heard of, books that I've heard of. They're just recommended to me through like Book Talk, just reading the synopsis on Kindle and Goodreads and whatnot. So yeah, keep that in mind. I haven't read any of these, so don't take these. I don't have any opinion. I'm just reading what you can read too. So to begin with, Spellbound in the Stacks by K. Iwancio. I can't say her last name, but this one, rom-com, smutty, bookstore, firefighter, full romance, Halloween, small town, witches, magic, cat shifter. Looks like your cutest Halloween romance, Sabrina the Teenage Witch kind of vibes. It says before they can be together, they find themselves racing against the clock to break the curse. So this one just sounds so cute. It is beautiful. I love everything about it, and this just seemed like something that I don't normally read, like these cozy romance fantasy books, but it looked amazing, so I had to pick it up. It's on a Summer Night's Dream, and this just sounded really cool because it's an academy romance, which I really think I'm in my academy romance era because of Zodiac Academy. Like, I just think that that's the type of vibe I'm searching for. This Night Queen or future Night Queen must hide her identity until her fated mates prove themselves worthy of the title Knight. And so this is a why choose, fated mates, rejected mates, and also shifters, spicy romance, romantasy, and bully romance. So if you're not kind of into that, then I probably would shy away from this. But if you like Zodiac Academy, this seems like the type of book that you should lean towards because it's what I'm doing. I'm following that. Then I picked up Beneath the Shatter by T.A. Riley. This is a time travel romance, which I don't think I've ever read a time travel romance before. Enemies to lovers, shape-shifting, lots of banter, found families, and a possessive male main character, which you know we like here. And sounds really cool. I love the cover as well. All these covers are really amazing. I always love indie covers more than actually published covers. Like, I don't know what it is, but sometimes they just hit a little bit differently. But yeah, that was really cool. Then I picked up Destroyer by Meg Smithman. This one intrigued me because it's got like archaeology in it, which I think would be really cool. It's a slow burn, dark academia, which I want to read more of this year. So I definitely was excited about that when I saw it. It's got magic, fated love, and court intrigue, which I love a court. In fantasy, I just love like the politics and stuff of that kind of thing. So sounds really good. At the center of a forbidden ruin, an artifact of black stone is unearthed. So I see that's where the archaeology is coming in there. So that sounds really cool. And slow burn romance in these types of fantasy romance books are just always amazing. So hopefully that one is good. Then I got Throne of Anguish by Bex Gill, and this one is another enemies to lovers, another dark fantasy. He falls first though, which I want to read more of because I'm sick of the kind of grumpy sunshine situation where he doesn't want to admit it. So He Falls First is always a good time. Elemental magic, which again I absolutely love, and mythical creatures. So it sounds like all the things you just want to have in a book. Another one which has an amazing cover, just giving kind of Addams Family vibes, but it's called Dream by the Shadows by Logan Carley. This is a gothic fantasy, so that kind of Addams Family vibe is needed here because it's gothic. Enemies to lovers, slow burn, masquerade ball is involved, yes please. Fast paced, again we need that. Haunted castle, villain redemption arc, and the villain gets the girl. Hell to the yeah, that sounds amazing. And this is an ongoing duology as well. I I've got another paranormal fantasy, which is kind of the vibe here. I feel like I've picked up a lot of paranormal fantasies, but this is Of Magic and Men by Meg Alvian, or Alivian, I'm not too sure. These names are hard. And this one is witches, earth magic, slow burn, spice, demons, shifters, prisoner and guard robots, and villain inspired by Maleficent. So that sounds interesting. Another one I picked up, which I am planning on reading in January, is Glass and Bone, and this is the Diadem series, and this one is Lovers to Enemies, which I found very interesting. You heard me right there. Lovers to enemies, not enemies to lovers. Forced marriage, forbidden attraction, and a love triangle. So yeah, lovers to enemies. I just can't get over that I never have read anything like that. Royalty and power with a man who terrifies her, or the chance at true love with someone who is forbidden. How good does that sound? So I picked that up very quickly. This one is The Mark of Chaos and Creation. This is enemies to lovers, found family, love triangle, twist and turns. Where do you draw the line between fighting for the greater good and vengeance? Hell yes. Then we have Tragic Kingdoms. This one is very spicy and very adult, so beware of that. Game of Thrones vibes, which kind of just definitely goes with what I last just said. Dark magic and Warring Kingdoms. So yes, Game of Thrones vibes all the way over here. I'm missing Game of Thrones a lot right now, so that sounds awesome. I have another Lovers to Enemies book, and it is The Stars Plot Revenge, and this one sounds amazing because taken captive by acting king, it sounds like, and she will do whatever it takes to get out of his grasp. So yes, another like high fantasy. Oh, it looks good. It looks really great. This is so exciting, guys. Like, all of these books are just sounding amazing. I'm loving it. Then we have probably the only YA book that I picked up, and this is Queen of Roses by Bolin. And this one follows a young lady who is living in the shadow of her brother, who is becoming king, and then one day he wants to send her on this mission to go find this Fae object that is like long lost, and she gladly accepts because she wants to get out of there and do something useful. So that kind of follows her. She must meet someone. I'm very excited to kind of go back to a YA after all of these dark adult romances. The next book I got was Night World Academy by LJ Swallow, and this one is following the vibes of Zodiac Academy, and that's why I picked it up. But this one has all types of shifters, vampires, werewolves, the lot, witches, all of that in the academy. This girl moves there because she got kicked out of her old school, and she can kind of sense the future, it seems like. And yeah, she's just like, there's lots of different types of boys there. All of them try to stir trouble. Everyone learns in the evening. She thinks she has it all figured out, but then something goes wrong and she kind of has to deal with everything spinning out of control. The next one is Enemies with Benefits, and this one kind of sounds like it is. Been nemesis since the first day of kindergarten all the way until they graduated high school. Very competitive with each other, but there is very underlying attraction between them. So to stop this lusting after each other, they enter an agreement to become enemies with benefits. And yeah, I feel like you know how this is going to go, and I'm all there for it. A very cute romance book called Opposites Attract, and this one is by Camilla Isley. This one is another enemies to lovers, but they're also neighbours, and it seems like a romantic comedy. And this one intrigued me as one of them is a divorce lawyer and then the other one is a therapist. So one is seeing all these terrible marriages going very wrong, so is definitely against marriage, and then the other one is a couples therapist that is set on getting people back together and working on their relationships and all of that. So these two dynamics are going to work really well together. Being neighbours is also so cute. So basically they're like occupationally enemies but obviously it's going to turn into something else, so that's exciting. Bound by Honey by Jamie Dalton is another one I picked up, and I've been seeing these books everywhere. This is the 11th book, but they're all standalones and they're all very cozy fantasy type books, and I'm very excited to read this because I've heard so many great things about these. They have really raving reviews. Starting a magical library that has an incurable curse and a woman who loves her coffee, so you can just sense the coziness to that. It's a magical library full of fairy tales, you know, like how cute is that? Very low risk, enemies to lovers, high stakes, cozy fantasy. Like that is just the vibe you need at this time of year, I think. The next book is The Girl He Needs, and this is by Christy Rose, and this is part of another series, but they can all be read separately as standalones. And this one follows a girl who has to, by circumstance, be in forced proximity with this man and ends up working at his job, at his office job. So very forced proximity, they do not like each other. So she's all of these circumstances, she's trying to find her estranged brother, and the universe just moves her into this life of trying to get them to as together as possible. But yeah, it looks like another romantic comedy that is just so cute, and it's set in Florida as well, so it seems like a very good summery romance to read. This one is called Dirty Billionaire. Enough said. This one's by Megan March, and this one follows a male's perspective, it seems like, and he's basically a jerk who thinks he can get literally anyone he wants, and then one day he finds someone that does not care about his attention, and that clearly makes him want her more, as it does with the male species. But yes, I'm very excited to see this one. This looks like a fun, very dirty asshole romance, if you know what I'm saying. The next one is Reluctantly Yours, and this is by Erin Hawkins, and this one seems like another enemies to lovers for forced proximity are forced to work together. I think fake dating is in this, as he tells a little white lie, and that means he has to find a girlfriend very quickly, and this person is at the right place at the right time. And yeah, it looks really cute, little steamy rom-com romance. The next one is Good Girl by Piper Lawson. Okay, this is a new adult rock star meets nerd series, which just sounds incredibly fun. Addictive, emotional, slow burn romance, which is now a trilogy. So this is the first book in the Wicked series. So I'm excited to read like a rock star romance. It's been a while since I've read that. I feel like fan fiction was the last time I've read something like that, so hell yes. Then I actually got a thriller, which I was very excited to find on Stuff Your Kindle Day, because usually it's just romance, fantasy, or like subgenres of romance. So this one is Lethal Dissection by Dobie Cross, and this one is a medical thriller. And as I have just finished Grey's Anatomy, I'm really into my medical things at the moment. Medical things, you know? Yeah. No, but this one sounded really cool. Like, this doesn't have very good reviews, but I'm gonna stick with it. I'm not too sure what it's about, but I know it's a medical thriller. It's non-gory as well, so that's kind of nice. But yeah, I'm not too sure what to expect. I feel like with this type of book, you need to go in not knowing too much, so that's nice. Her Bluff, which is the first book in the Dangerous Games trilogy. This one is basically a good girl who explores a darker side of life and romance. So she needs to find someone very good and skilled to help her dive into this other part of her. And so yeah, I'm very excited to see the dynamic of these two. Like, I often read like good girl, bad girl, like Grumpy Sunshine, whatever, but it will be really fun to watch like that kind of situation take place. I think that will be really cool. I've got a vampire romance by Sarah Piper, and it is book 1 called Dark Deception. And this one follows a ruthless vampire king, so an alluring crime family, crime bosses, vampire fantasy romance, secrets. Oh yes, British accent. I'm here for it. Whiskey smooth British accent. Hell yes. The last one I picked up was also another thriller, and that is The Perfect Wife, Blake Pierce. And this one is a This one follows a criminal profiler, which I also find very, very intriguing. Psychological suspense thriller, which I am always into. To begin to question everything. This kind of involves her own life. Very fast paced and has unforgettable characters and heart-pounding suspense. So that is what I want. I wanted to like find some thrillers, but it was quite hard because you had to really dive deep into the Stuff Your Kindle books. So most of them were romance or fantasy romance, but I hope you enjoyed. I hope you saw some books that you're kind of interested to read. A lot of them are on Kindle Unlimited, so even if you miss Stuff Your Kindle Day, you can definitely go check them out on Kindle Unlimited. I will be having a series of vlogs with me reading these books because I'm gonna need the motivation to do that, because there were a lot there. A lot of them are similar when I like read them all out at once. Like a lot of them follow the same thing. Lots of enemies to lovers, as you can see, when I'm not supposed to be reading too much romance this year, but you know, it's me. It's that's not gonna happen. But yeah, I'm very excited to read these books. It's gonna be a great time, and I hope you enjoy going on this journey with me, and let me know what you picked up in Stuff Your Kindle Day. If you picked up anything the same or different, let me know, because I would love to check out your recommendations as well. And if you haven't already, please like, comment and subscribe. It always means so much to me, and I love making more bookish friends on here. And I shall see you in my next video. Bye.